Spawn on the bottom, we got Mocaccino. And his opponent to the right, Tiki Gray. Alright. Both players with a good amount of tier 2. Tiki going for 4 tier 2s in the composition. Mocha with 3. Both players have a defensive structure. But Mocha's got that Squizzard. But honestly, in the modern meta, where we're at right now, you know, I really don't mind dropping the squirrels. It seems like double skunk is very common opener, which does quite nicely against the squirrels. The lizards seem to be doing well. I'm not sure how much the modern toads are countering them, or how many people are playing the toads. Like, maybe Tiki would get into a little trouble here against lizard toad, perhaps. But it's a risk he's willing to take to be able to fit in all the various tier 2 units. So this one should be fun. I like this map a bit better for Mocha. I feel like his expansions are a little bit easier to defend. However, Tiki does have 3 expansions of his own right here. Nice and neat. And even a 4th base as well up here on the high ground. Might even end up taking this as his natural. This is very, very difficult for Mocha to attack into, since you'd have to run all the way around. And it might even be difficult to scout, to be honest. However, maybe Tiki would rather take one of these bases, like save this one for later on. 8 farm double into snakes for Tiki. Meanwhile, Mocha goes into an 8 farm double into an expansion. Tiki did see that mine get placed down, so that's a free 20 food right there for him. Nice observation. Mocha moving out with these squirrels a little bit dangerous. Most of the time, lizards do trade advantageously against big, open, fair fights like this. Hey, Mocha trying to get into some chameleons here. I actually like, I've been testing a little bit more lately with delayed expansion openings, kind of similar to what Tiki did. I actually like that a lot. I've been trying to punish people for greed. It's a fun way to play. I think my problem is, like, my first attacks like normally do well, and then I do follow-up attacks that don't do as good. But yeah, I generally like the 8 farm double into a tier 2 into like another tier 1. Seems pretty good right now, but it also depends on the map and what your opponent is doing and that sort of thing. And so far, Mocha is purely on Squizzard here. This is a decent way to buffer trying to be a little bit more greedy with the expansion. But Mocha's going to go on the offensive. Hopefully, he's looking to hopefully try to punish Tiki for getting into early snakes. Snakes aren't the best unit against tier 1. But Tiki's got some good micro here. Got that emergency turret up in time. Nice job from Tiki, really having the game sense to realize he was about to be attacked. Throw that down. But this offense for Mocha still did okay. He got 2 Warrens and a pig. It's a shame he lost his commander, I think, to the poison there, because that would have been a lot more successful. But good defense from Tiki. You know, trying to get into double tier 2 and expanding and stuff. I really like the MG. I think that helped out a lot. But Mocha losing his commander there really made that go from like a victory to more of a relatively even trade. You know, Tiki just getting to pick up all those additional tier 1 that were coming in, and the tier 1 that was left over that Mocha probably would have rallied home. Both players trying to get up to second bases here. Mocha trying to think about what tier 2 he wants. I've seen him kind of sell and buy a couple of them. Just going to go into that double skunk here. Meanwhile, Tiki thinks he's in a good spot. Going to put on some pressure with these turrets. And Mocha cannot attack into 3 turrets right there. However, they are placed in such a position, if Mocha really wanted, he could try to go all the way around and attack in to Tiki, but the problem with that is turrets would mow down the reinforcements. Alright, Mocha's coming in. He's got a lot of lizards here trying to deal with these tier 2 units, but Tiki's control is very good. Keeps most of the tier 2 alive there, only dropping 1. Which is a shame for Mocha with this kind of Squizzard style. What he's really looking to do is knock out that tier 2. But Tiki with some good micro there, keeping his units alive at low HP. And Tiki's got a lot of the momentum now thanks to these turrets. He did sell off one of them, but 2 turrets here is still a force to be reckoned with. Mocha's really got to respect that. He doesn't have anything like snakes or ferrets to poke those down cost effectively. So yeah, Mocha can try this kind of move, like try to take this engagement wide enough around the turrets to where they're not coming into play. But again, if this fight goes long, all the reinforcements from Mocha will just be running into those turrets here. And Tiki trying to keep the tier 2 alive so far. And this is just a great engagement for Tiki, managing to keep all the a couple of his tier 2 alive, I should say. 2 of them did go down. But he managed to kill all the skunks for Mocha. Mocha sells down to 1 skunk warren. But if Mocha can pick off these tier 2, they're so weak, you want them. Alright, he gets them. That was a big victory there for Mocha. That definitely puts him back in this a little bit. Mocha sold off of the skunks and is just going to rely on Squizzard here. Finds an opening where Tiki's army is not all defending these turrets. Going to go ahead and engage on those, but Tiki's still got enough pure lizards here to clean this force up or at least contest it. And the real story here is that Tiki, throughout all of this, has managed to get those extra farms up on the second base, has managed to keep his tier 2 warrens up and running. Not going to be able to build any units out of them for quite some time, but I think he's okay with that. You know, he's got 1 skunk, he's got 1 snake. He sells off 1 lizard warren, but he knows he's got to be careful about that. Doesn't want to go too far down on the tier 1. Mocha looks like he's thinking about coming in for some more blood here. Going to be able to pick off that warren, I think. Yeah, it should go down, but the warren did a good job absorbing a decent amount of damage there, protecting the units for Tiki. Going to be able to trade out the tier 1, but not able to knock out the tier 2. That's the real targets you're looking for there. But Mocha did get that warren, which is something. And he's been able to get up to 8 farms now. Tiki's income is a little bit better here, though. Was able to get up to the 8 farms a little bit faster. Alright, so now Mocha's only got pure Squizzard here to deal with this skunk snake turret. This is rough. These turrets, like, really making a big difference here for Tiki, in my opinion. You can basically have these snakes do their ferret impression here. Ooh, gonna actually lose them. Gets a pig in the process. Mocha trying to back up so he can get that extra pig fire here to help him out. Losing both those snakes, though. A little bit of a blunder. Now Mocha's trying to get into some of his own tier 2. Looking to get the chameleons. Maybe he wants that extra tanking on the front line. Maybe trying to get them to deal with the turrets. But Tiki's still got the better tech here. And he's got a similar amount of tier 1. So this is rough for Mocha. Tiki's still in a good spot. Mocha realizes he needs to get some of his own tech up and running. But Tiki trying to keep the pressure on. Yeah, this is rough for Mocha because if he doesn't engage, the skunk snake will poke down the pigs. If he does engage, he loses the fight. So this might just be checkmate. Tiki slowly pushing Mocha's army back further and further. Mocha just trying to buy some time for his own tier 2 to get out, but that should be game. Tiki's army crushing through. Now the skunks are here, but they're too little too late. And that's going to be it. Match number 1 going to Tiki. was like, why do I have Discord pings? It's the Pocket Cup. I'm sorry, Pocket Cup. I'm stealing everybody to watch tournament matches here. All right, game number 2. Spot at the bottom, we got Mocaccino and his opponent to the top left, Tiki Gray. Both players with similar decks. It looks like Tiki dropped the chameleons this time around for pigeons. Meanwhile, I think Mocha dropped the chameleons for snakes. And let's see how this one plays out. Map looks fairly decent for both sides. I always hate spawning on the low ground here, but I think Tiki will get over it since he's got 4 expansions right there in his yard. Meanwhile, Mocha's got 3 on his side of the map. And this is actually a decent front here. Like, if Tiki takes this mill, that's going to stretch out his territory a good bit for those aggressive turrets. All right. So I might fast forward a little bit during the early games here if they're pretty basic. Looks like 8-farm double from Tiki, 8-farm double from Mocha. Seeing if maybe he went for an 8-farm single into the Expo. 8-farm into the Expo for Mocha here. And generally, I think I prefer the opening that Tiki is doing over the Gristmill opening, but it does depend on what you're going to do in that early to the mid-game, right? Like, I think if you're just going to hold on and defend, what Mocha's doing is better, but I think Tiki's opener kind of lets you have the opportunity to put on some aggression on that second base, maybe try to come in, get a Warren, get a favorable engagement while you have tier 2 and your opponent doesn't. But honestly, this map is probably big and weird enough to where by the time Tiki tries to do an attack with these skunks, Mocha will have the snakes out, so this might end up being better for Mocha in the long run. Let's just see how much Tiki commits to an army versus going for a second base. If Tiki continues to just bring the hammer, okay, yeah, he's going to get into second base, so I think now I like this better for Mocha. Let's see. This is the test, and Mocha just committed a second farm there. So he's being a little bit greedy. And Tiki's coming in for a shoulder check here. Snake, squirrel versus skunk, lizard. Ooh, good job from Mocha getting the snake tags exactly where they needed to be, and that went fantastic. I think, did Tiki's commander go down? No, Mocha's commander went down. That was a very nice defense for Mocha, but I think it really came down to Mocha's targeting. Like, the fact he got those snake stacks onto the skunks so quickly was absolutely huge. If those snakes, you know, just kind of hit some of the lizards or didn't quite deal with those skunks, you know, Tiki might have found the opportunity to bust in there. Yeah, snake poison on commander is super rough. I agree. Should get rid of it. We should get rid of snakes poisoning buildings too. Take a stand, chat. All right, skunk snake from both sides here. Mocha getting into the double skunk. And has an eco advantage. Tiki looking to maybe set up a flank with the snakes. Gonna probably try to run in with the lizards over here, get Mocha to move the army, and then come in with the snakes. Meanwhile, behind it, Tiki's being very greedy. He's got some turrets to back that greed up, but really just trying to get into tier 2. Smart by Mocha, only moving the squirrels. Oh no, and then he rallies the whole army. Oh, if he would have kept the rest of his units here, this would have worked out much better for him. He is going to end up killing those snakes, but the snakes got some good damage done. So did the lizards. I think he ended up getting like 3 warrens and a farm there, but he lost both the snakes. So that could possibly put Mocha in the opportunity where he's got a good chance for a counterattack, but Tiki's got some turrets here to defend really his most precious assets. And it looks like we're in a little bit of a standstill. Mocha trying to get into 4th base economy. Tiki getting into 3. Tiki pushing forward now. Double skunk for Mocha, double falcon for Tiki. One of those skunks is going to drop before the fight starts, and here's the big engagement. Looks like Mocha is holding this. Yeah, big victory there for Mocha. Tiki did get a warren or 2, but Tiki realizes he just lost that engagement too hard, taps out. And we're tied up 1-1 here. Let's head into game number 3. Spawning on the left-hand side, up off of victory, we've got Mocha. Spawning to the right, Tiki. Same decks. Look at this map. So many mills on this map. Thanks for the follows, everybody. I appreciate it. I saw somebody looking for the bracket earlier. The best way to kind of figure out what's going on in this tournament is the Discord. I tried to... it's underneath the... in the Tooth and Tail events section, underneath the stream. I'm trying to pull that link up for the chat right now. And then you can head in there, and there is a like a couple channels that show the matchups. So basically what's happening in this event right now, this is kind of a preseason. It is, I suppose, a fairly accurate term. You know, we're not going to have the next TnT Championship Series until 2021, so this is kind of the event to tie everybody over for now. And it's essentially a big round robin where everybody's got to play in their groups, best of 5 against their opponents, and we're going to tally up the scores. I think the lowest scored players in all their groups get the boot, and then everybody else goes to a tournament bracket. Just like a standard, you know. I think it's single. It might be double. I'll have to check. Speaking of doubles, 8-farm double from both sides here. Again, I do want to try to get to a bunch of matches tonight, so I might fast forward during slow early games a little bit. Looks like we're going into triple tier 1. This is a little bit unusual, to be honest. Yeah, Tiki even going up to 4 tier 1, so I'm curious what the rationale behind this is. Ooh, sells one off. Ooh, sell. Okay, there we go. Just kind of showing. I was thinking maybe the 4 tier 1 to try to punish an opponent going for tier 2 or something like that before it's quite out. And kind of does trick Mocha, though. What he ends up doing is get the tech tempo here. As Mocha correctly, you know, for the information he has, he's like, all right, you got 4 tier 1. I should probably get 4 tier 1 so you don't just kill me. But meanwhile, Tiki sold off a couple of those to get into the skunks. Now Mocha is doing the same. But Tiki will have a significant lead on the skunks. The skunks are about 30 seconds ahead of Mocha's, and that's 30 seconds, a nice little window to poke and prod in for an attack. Mocha getting up to that double skunk, though. I would love to see this. This, in my opinion, this is one of the stronger openers you can do in the early game right now, and I'm curious what the correct response is, or how to deal with it in general. I think where I've been going wrong against it is overly relying on lizards. Like, lizards can do pretty good against a pair of skunks, but when you get up to 4 skunks, the skunks actually start beating the lizards because they just have so much HP, they can get so much gas everywhere. And here's that attack difference I was talking about, where Tiki did have the tech tempo on this from kind of selling Mocha on some wrong information, some decent mind games in the early game. It gets a reasonable attack done there. You know, probably not the crippling damage he was looking for, but some decent damage nonetheless. And yeah, so Mocha's got this double skunk up that I feel like is pretty strong in the early game, and let's see what Tiki is trying to do about it. He's going up to Falcons. He is going to be able to come in here, find some damage to Lizards. Actually pulls back a little bit too early. It's easy for me to say that, though, when I can see everything. Tiki did not want to risk losing a good chunk of the Lizards there and opening himself up to a counterattack. But in general, it just looks like Tiki is kind of respecting the double skunk. Like, not really moving out against it. Just kind of hanging out, getting up to his own tier 2. And so far, I like this better for Mocha. I think if Mocha swings out... Well, he's got to wait a significant amount of time for his Falcons to be here. And by that point, Tiki should be getting up a decent amount of Falcons of his own. But Tiki looks like he's going to think about some aggression here. I like pulling the Falcons up as well with the skunks here to try to punish the enemy skunks. But Mocha doesn't have a ton of tier 1 in this situation. Here we go. Tiki is moving in. And the Lizard Falcon skunk is able to overwhelm. Tiki did a good job of kind of poking in for some damage earlier on, even using these pigeons to help heal. And Mocha getting caught, maybe just going for a bit too much tier 2 here. Really nice engagement there from Tiki. And gonna grab the match. Putting the series up 2-1 in favor of Tiki. Let's hop into match number 4 here. Spotting in the bottom right, we've got Mocha. His opponent to the left, Tiki Gray. All right. Mocha continuing on with the same deck. Meanwhile, Tiki going for the hyper late game here. Snake, Owl, Wire, Balloon. Tiki is really good at using the wire and the snakes. And hoping the Squirrel Skunk Snake is enough to get him through the early game. And this is a nice map for what Tiki's looking to do. You know, Tiki's got a ton of gristmills on his side. Could easily throw down Barbed Wire and Balloon right there if he so decides to. Mocha's not down and out, though. Does have access to pretty reasonable 4 bases here. And this is the first time we've seen a tier 3 in the deck composition from either of these players. Mocha with the single mine back here. That's kind of interesting. I would think maybe he wants vision to see moles, but moles are kind of not meta right now. Maybe it could help him against a back attack, but I really doubt Tiki would go all the way around to make that happen. In general, though, 1 mine is nearly negligible in cost, so it doesn't really matter too much. Looked like 8 farm double from both sides. Tiki getting into that expansion. Mocha taking a little bit more time before getting into the expo. Overall, very similar build orders here. I think Tiki's was a little bit better. Maybe Mocha was worried about some early aggression. That's why he got that 3rd tier 1 Warren. But it will definitely lead us into a no harm, no foul situation. I don't think either player's really got enough of a tier 2 timing advantage for it to make a big difference. But, you know, as I say that, Mocha's tier 2 has been blocked for a significant amount of time now. Which will put Tiki's skunks a little bit ahead. Tiki being very greedy here on the back of starting to set up some wire. Selling off most of the tier 1 to get into more and more farms, using some wire to help defend himself while doing so. And Mocha doesn't have cams or moles or anything like that to really deal with these wire easily. Mocha is getting the memo, though, says, alright, man, I'll play greedy if you want to play greedy. Sells off his own tier 1 to get into some more tier 2. So we've got a macro fest here, but again, this is what Tiki wants. He wants his opponent to concede to playing a macro game because he knows he's got that owl-snake composition in the pocket. Especially with the balloons, too. So let's see what Mocha can do about this. Mocha already looking to get into that third base. Ooh, and Tiki's going to decide, you know what, man, you're not going to attack me anytime soon. Let me get my money back from that wire and start building into other things that I feel are more important. And there's the first owl. Tiki is feeling comfortable. Double skunk coming up for Mocha. And maybe there might be a little bit of a window to attack. If Mocha goes, like, right now, as Tiki is trying to get this defense set up, very, very close to Mocha's main base. Now, this is threatening. You know, the balloons are on the way. And I think Mocha was out and about when that little bit of a chance did occur. And now he's starting to get locked in from the balloons. Double owl on the way here for Tiki. And this is rough. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's correct, but if I was Mocha, I would kind of be tempted to, like, just walk around everything and come attack in. But what's really hard about doing that sort of thing in Tooth and Tail is that just all of your reinforcements would follow this wall here. And Mocha's in a rough spot. He's got the better economy, but he's just got nothing that can really handle what Tiki is putting together here. The barbed wire balloon combination is just so nice because you need tier 1 to really deal with the barbed wire, or I'm sorry, to deal with the balloon, and the barbed wire knocks out all the tier 1. So Tiki's late game comp is looking really good. Mocha does have double skunk and is getting into quite a few falcons here. I don't know if double skunk will be enough to make the mice null and void, especially as Tiki is getting into the third owl. And to be honest, like, this is the reason I've been trying out a lot more aggressive strategies lately, because I feel like when you, like, kind of do that gentleman's agreement with your opponent, you know, if they've got the right deck, they can really put together a composition that is just quite oppressive into the mid or late game. So what I've been playing with a little bit is, like, how do you not let them do this? Because, I mean, Tiki's position here just looks so powerful. You know, even has the balloons to give these snakes high ground vision to poke into the warrants here. Gold warp gates, dude. What's up? Yeah, man. Day 9 did stream the other day. That was super awesome. That was really great exposure for the scene. Yeah, and honestly, you know, this style is, it's not really new, I guess, but it's kind of newer to the meta again. But this is kind of one of those ultra late game comps I just don't feel we've really figured out an answer to yet. Like, what is Mocha supposed to do about this? He's gonna push in, but I mean, with all the balloons here, all the mice. And that's going to be it. Tiki takes the victory, takes the 3-1.